player there, but not given. Back to Linger. Gets it now from O. Good chasing down. There from Bulgo, and that's left short, and that's let in. Oh, heavy touch. He's not happy with himself. And he's in goal. And he's ready to stride out and run after that one, as I believe we're now coming through live on YouTube. Apologies before, we were just Facebook only there for a little while, but looks like we are up and running on both fronts. And there's Kadisha. Eventually plays all the way back to the keeper. Lonnie City keeping Mees and Gerard up high, and that's a great ball to get through the midfielders. Stevens now setting through the pace of Lagu. Crosses, nearly makes it towards the striker, but Matty O, crucial interception. Wani ready and waiting for that one. And Stevens. This time, hand to play, but the bright pink boots of John Wani ready to pounce if O didn't get to that one. Ten minutes gone, still no score here at KG5. Both sides certainly playing a slightly more free-flowing game than what we've seen in some of the NPL games lately, which is good to see. Ladico can't quite find his teammate in Wani. Wani City player staying down because he was clutching his head. They've opted to pause it. Might see the ball return to Hobart United as referee waving on the technical staff, or the medical staff I should say. They will have a little pause in proceedings. Not necessary in the end. Curious to know if Lonnie City might kick it back to Hobart United, or whether Hobart United will take the ball from this spot. Referee directing instruction. And then in the end, it's Hobart United to attackers. And you do so well, but cleared by O. So this game not being played at Hobart United's home ground, playing at Gun Oval in Pontville normally. It moves to KG5 for this big occasion, and we'll see that's a goal kick in the end. So after a pretty furious 5 minutes, game slightly settling down, settling into a rhythm. As Millington looks up, Zimbo looking towards me, well cleared by David. Linger. Looking for Thorne. Back to Linger. Wants to play the 1-2 with Gerard, who turns away and goes back to O, who's immediately pressured and forced to clear it long, but it's ended up pretty well as Dyer, running in behind the defence, controls it, wants no foul. Oh, he's just put it wide. And corner ball given. Let the striker play on. And a gilt-edged chance for Charlie Dyer. O forced to hit it first time and probably worked in their favour. And could not make the challenge, could Kadisha. And has deflected off the covering defender. So first corner for Lonnie City, as you can see by the flag. Bit of a light breeze here so far, not impacting on proceedings too much. There's Linger, goes towards the back stick. Mees there, but so's David. Matty O immediately muscled off it. And the long ball looking for Wani, but Thorne covering in defence. Gerard eludes two challenges and want to play another lovely crossfield ball towards Linger. Juma, lovely dummy. to deceive the Lonnie City on-rushing attacker, and now plays it long in the direction of Lagu. Now Wani. MK and Stevens exchanging passes. Cross towards the near post. Wani controls on the chest. Can he keep it in? Millington forcing him wide and eventually clears. Mees. He's all alone. Do well to just keep Hobart United from recycling it, but in the end, crossfield ball. Miscommunication on this occasion. And again, the attack comes to naught, but good attacking intent from the championship side here as the sun dips behind the clouds and the lights of KG5 become in use. Thought that was a foul by Ridgard, but he ends up picking the ball up. Only really has Mees wanting it to feet. And miscontrol by David lets in the Lonnie City attacker. It's Ridgard and Mees. Juma coming back. It's Mees. Top of the box. Noah Mees scores on his return to the senior side and puts the NPL side 1-0 up. It was opportunistic slip there from Hobart United. And unfortunately, Mees makes him pay. And puts the Northern side 1-0 up. Just the miscontrol and Ridgard sliding in. Juma trying with all his might to get back, but Mees on that left peg. Not a great deal the keeper can do about that. As it's now the underdogs with it all to do. Lonnie City now 1-0 up. Short pill, I thought by Gardner, but ended up winning the ball cleanly. It's O. Millington takes touch and is dispossessed. Ends up keeping him. Good high press here from Hobart United, but lovely turn away. Looks to play in Mees. Eventually, Kadisha knocks that one out of play. Dyer. Now Linger. Thorne getting into a good pocket of space, but immediately crowded out. And the long ball looking for Wani. It's now Logo with Linger for company, forced to turn back. Juma. Now thought Canberra was going to play the nice long ball, did MK, but decided against it this time. Knocks it out wide. Up against Gardner. Between the two of them, eventually getting there is John Booger, forcing the save. And a Daniel Nash. Finally getting a proper shot on target from inside the box, Hobart United. Sting the palms of Nash as he forces it out for a corner. First corner of the game for Hobart United. Two, 4, 6 in the box. There you go, the alternate routine. And Stevens immediately dispossessed by Gerard. Waiting for teammates to come, but it's good covering defence. But he might have left that one short. Ridgard not quite getting there in time. Booth quickly off his 6-yard line. And again, you don't want that happening from your own attacking corner if you're Hobart United. You've got plenty of tall timber in their side. Throw in from Ledica. Cleared by Millington. Stevens with the high boot, but not goal. It was Dyer rushing in. Juma leaves that one short, looking for Linger, that allows Linger to go forward. Now Dyer. Good covering defence. Forcing the throw. Thorne missing that one, but well, with almost a similar ball to what caused Dyer's Shot on target. Not quite as effective this time. Oh. Getting in. Opponent's not finding the target. Again, Hawes with the sloppy pass. Thorne doing his best to keep it in, but the touchline will beat him. Juma's just trying to slow the pace down here a bit, allowing Stevens to certainly organise his side. All the way back to the keeper. MK turns. He's it out. Joel David looks up, wants to play. I thought he was aiming for the crossfield ball there, but that's gone to no one in particular. Comfortable for Nash to claim. A strong challenge there from Letico, but now it's turned over and Mees. Oh, he's got Dyer on the far side here all alone, but facing the wrong way. Dyer wondering what's happening. Think he might have been offside. No, stays on. Dyer. Eventually forced to go all the way back to his right back, but he was in an acre of space on the left-hand side. Gerard looks up. Oh, spots the run of his housemate Ridgard, and what a save from Booth. Dyer on the follow-up, well blocked from Chuma. That surely should have been a second for City. Ridgard found himself all alone, 8 yards out from goal. And he'll be wondering how he's not made that 2-0 for his side. Lovely ball from Jarrett's taking the deflection. Ridgard time to size up. Booth made himself big. Come up with a great save, and then the block on Juma coming out for a corner. As first corner from this side, driven in by Linger. Floater falls to the feet of Gerard. Wants to get it to set, volleys it. Well cleared from Stevens. Rising high in the end, but he was in goal, but not quite effectively enough. There's Dyer. Throws it long. And it's sit for Kadisha. Goes the bicycle kick clearance. Only as far as Thorne. Wanted to turn and get it to Dyer, but couldn't on this occasion. Playing on is the call. Ref not interested in the slightest in that potential calls for a foul, and that will go Hobart United's way. Halfway through this first half, the away side City leading. And there's Lani, who we haven't seen a great deal of since the first 10 or so minutes. Millington. And a Linger, lovely ball through to the goal scorer Mees. Gets his head up, will he go himself? Wants to get on that right peg. Lays it back off to Charlie. Dyer puts it firmly into the back of the net. And City 2-0 up. Wonderful work from Charlie Dyer. Mees as well. Thought the striker was going to take the shot on then. Selfless work from the big number 9. His return to this side looking all the more important. Dyer just standing in the day all alone. Not a great deal the keeper could do about that one. It's 2-0 for City. United with it all to do. There's MK looking for Stevens. Can't quite find Lago there. Working it from defence to midfield all right here this afternoon. Here's Hobart United. It's just that pass from midfield to forward. Not quite coming off on this occasion. Can Juma change that? He can't. Goes straight to Hawes. And Dyer. Stevens firmly on his tail. And wins the throw. Again, the ball down the line looking for Lagu. Linger not quite spotting where that one is. Lagu looking towards Wani. Found himself in some space. Wanted to lay it off to a teammate who more got in his way than anything. And Wani leaving the leg in on that occasion and committing the foul. Another moment of promise for the home side goes to waste. It's about there. You either want to lay it off or hit it. In the end, calls neither. And it's just left the foot in, but it's more how Adio fell then. It was quite unorthodox. Don't think it was necessarily the challenge from the striker, but certainly fell awkwardly. Did the defender, making his home at centre-back so far this season. Usually we've seen him at full-back or previously further up the park. And he's settled in nicely alongside Millington the last few weeks. Eventually play restarted through Nash. Juma firmly out jumping the goal scorer Dyer there. Cleared again by the Hobart United defence. That ball ending up in the grandstand. Luckily for us on the other side compared to our camera. Gerard looks for the sweeping ball to housemate and teammate Ridgard, who will eventually nearly get it back from Hawes, but Justin Ledico getting there first. Photographer's corner here at KG5, firmly well attended. 4 down there already. There's Millington. Thorns looking more and more comfortable at this level, particularly since when I first saw him earlier in the season. And that centre midfield role was the import Gerard. Now, I thought that was handball, and it is. Ridgard trying the flick around the captain. As Hush has descended on at KG5. Gardner unable to track that one down. Gerard working in tight spaces, finding Gardner, who was fouled from behind, not happening on this occasion. Just out of the range of Gerard. Hobart taking towards the right-hand side, trying to build some pressure. The City have been pretty ruthless with creating their clear-cut chances. 2 goals already. He's engaging a bit of aerial ping-pong on the far side here at the moment, not gaining much distance. Hobart United. United not in a great rush to take the throw-ins either, as that one's just out of the reach of one. Canberra gets it towards goal, comes off the back of his teammate. Really falling fortuitously there with John Booger, but not on this occasion, as Nash's high ball is very, very high, coming down with snow on it just about. Mees challenging for the ball, but eventually Kaish's body position working out well. Gerard looks up, wants to play the crossfield ball. In the end, Mees missed out on it, but handball called against David. But a wonderful camera woman in the way of that one, so I didn't quite see that. Short free kick taken. Gerard, a bullet for Ridgard there. Not entirely sure how he was meant to control that one. Again, the throw in over the head. Eventually a free kick given to Lonnie City. Playing into the breeze at the moment of the away side. A free kick in an area where they can try to get it towards. It's all Timber of Mees and Millington. Goes in short instead to Dyer. Wants to get the ball moving, Gerard. Clearance. Not the finest of Booger's career. Gardner. All the way back to Matty Owen, halfway. Sets his teammate a hell of a task. Millington strides over to get it. Good for company. Now Linger. Gets it to Mees. Knocks it back to Thorne. Not expecting the challenge from behind. Now Stevens. Swartzlager using his pace to try and get around Millington, who had the inside line. And again, another player falling heavily on the turf. Side 2-0 down. Not terribly quick in getting the throw-ins going, Hobart United. There's Gore. Can't quite beat Linger. There's Juma into the box. Really appealing for that one, but still bouncing in the 6-yard box. Eventually cleared. Mees. Oh, lovely work there from David. Caught in the sandwich, but turned over. Reedgard to Hawes. Hooks up and tries to spray it towards Dyer. And Stevens. Looks in high and long. Game getting a bit scrappy since this City's second goal. City also not in the greatest hurry to take any throws, so it's a bit more understandable from them being 2-0 up. Now Gerard. Dyer looking to make some space, so is Ridgard, who's been flagged for offside. Going in the attacking sense. Hobart United. Clearing that one in. Touch. Thought that was going over the fence there, but that one we will claim back relatively shortly. Gardner. Straight back to Latico. Just keeps that in. Booger. Again. As I said earlier, those midfield to forward passes in transition from Hobart United not quite coming off here this afternoon. On a frankly gorgeous evening here north of the Flannelette Curtain in Glenorchy. Millington. Linger's bombing on. Goes for Gerard. Turns away from MK quite well. Tries to get the return ball. Not happening as Juma gets himself out of a tight jam. It's Wani. Bodying up well against his taller opponent. Mees. Also handball not heated as that ball's going to go out to Ridgard. Just about loses that one in the sun. Could lay it back to Thorne as Linger as well. Instead goes to Thorne. And eventually enough numbers back for Hobart United. Now Wani. His pace getting the crowd excited, and that's great covering defence there from young Mason Gardner. He's pulled up a little sore after it though. So that's nothing too serious. As Hawes gets it to Thorne. Lovely ball from the youngster. Plays in Ridgard. Will he go himself? He's got Mees and Gerard in the box. It's Ridgard going himself. Ball still in play, turning, twisting. Gerard's there on the spot if he wants him. Ridgard eventually running out of space. Going the An interesting trick, but he just about falls in his possession. Solomon Lago's on the charge on the far side. Still got possession. Now Wani. Stevens surely needs to be killing for it here, and does, but it's played behind him. And falls to Juma there. A little more pace on the left-hand side here, by the looks of it, Hobart United. Just a bit more pedestrian in going for us. That's a lovely chip ball, but Nash comes out to claim rather comfortably. Nash, as I mentioned, back in the starting lineup, replacing Lockie Clark. Not on the bench here this afternoon either, as it's a lovely bit of skill from Wani waiting in the box. Logu's slow to get there. Just falls towards a teammate, but in the end, and Gore couldn't quite get enough purchase on it. Mees. Just left that one a little too far in front of Dyer. 2 minutes to go in his first half. Gerard. David. Still going. Still David. And towards Booger, crossing. Only finding a wall of white and black. He's going to have a shot here, is Cameron. It's ambitious to say the least. He was lining that one up from a mile away. For those just joining us, it's Charlie Dyer and Noah Mees. It is still guarded down on the deck. We saw him hobbling 4 or 5 minutes ago. Doesn't look in a great way, does the youngster. Going through Lonnie City's bench, which we didn't quite get to before. Look at Buller, Fleming, Harry Johnson, Yasin Mohammadi and Alex Rosetto. Thinking if they go off, maybe kicking O out to right back could be an option. Fleming certainly more midfielder, Mohammadi or an attacking midfielder. Rosetto's a pretty versatile player. Certainly brings some height to that defensive unit. As players take the opportunity for a drink, and gentleman on the bike on the far side there gaining plenty of speed down that rivulet track. Not the greatest surface over there. United players choosing to have a conference in the middle. Grandstand certainly filling up here. Gardner hobbling off on the far side. We'll see how much of that stoppage gets translated into added time at the end of this first half. Rosetto essentially warming up. Gerard still having a drink on the far side there as play was brought underway. Millington. Big when in doubt clearance. Again, doing the same moments later. Juma controlling that one straight into his face. Stevens looks up and sprays a lovely ball. Now to Booger. Wani wanting to play the 1-2. Lonnie City down to 10 at the moment. And they'll win another corner in Hobart United. Let's hope they do a lot better than last time when they nearly ended up conceding a goal off the corner. Just their second of the match. The wind picking up a bit here in KG5 as this time it goes into the mix. It does hold up slightly underneath Nash. He doesn't quite grasp it cleanly. Linger's there to bail him out. Stevens back to Juma. Concedes the throw though. It's Hardwick looking at his bench for options. Gardner's back to a jog on the far side, waiting for the referee to call him back on. Slinger just whacks that one down the sideline. Juma trying to take that at least 10 yards further forward. Gardner still waiting to be brought on the far side. We've seen the referee's call as the throw-in's taken. Trimmer winning the throw, but 40 minutes gone. And that second Lonnie City Girls really taking the sting out of Hobart United's attack. It's Gerard. And he's eventually winning it. Gerard wants to win the throw, gets it caught in his feet. Kadisha having a couple of goes at it, just surely a foul by Chuma. He'll argue the point, but there's not much to argue there. Dyer on short. I think it was the laziest fake I've seen in a long time. Waits for Millington to get forward. Mees and Ridgard also waiting. Goes towards Mees, but just overhit comfortably into the arms of Booth, who tries to launch a counter. Thorne coming across. They're up against Booger in a foot race. And Hobart United end up with it. Options out left include Lakoseljac. Who plays it? I thought that was going to fall to Arnie. Ridgard cleanly won that one. That one lifting more laughs than appeals from the grandstand. So have a look at that on replay. He's practically falling over his own foot there. Gardner. To Ridgard. Turned over as far as MK. So they continue to prefer to attack down this left-hand side, Hobart United. And Thorne easily dispossessing. O to Millington. Heavy touch. But comfortable as Linger trying to go the nutmeg pass. Now intercepted. He's got Logo on one side, Winey on the other, and going himself. And strong challenge from Millington. Dyer towards Linger. Plenty of time here for United. Can they steal one before half-time? Hobart United's match manager still pretty keen, doing the ball chasing on both sides of the pitch here this afternoon, as that one's nearly fallen towards Lego as Linger. A lovely fake he's collected well after the play. Kind of challenge I sometimes get social futsal from a kick-off there, where you just throw your whole body at the ball in the centre circle. Nash in a great hurry to take this one. He's beaten in the air by David. Running out of turf, or AstroTurf on the far sideline. Now Wani still has not been able to get round Millington this afternoon. Just seem to be lacking a little dynamism in the front third so far this afternoon. Could bring on the slice of cheese favourite Francis King Kenyi. Would love to see that. Up here in the slice of cheese commentary box is Wani. All the way back in defence to David. Good chest by Wani. Trying to go over there. Oh, it's fallen to Lagu. Solomon Lagu shot as well, blocked by Millington. First time we've really seen him get the wrong side of Linger here this afternoon. And eventually covering defence, doing just enough, but generating the type of chances Hobart United need if they're to get back into this one. It's a good first touch from the winger. Just slightly hesitated, and Millington able to get back over. Fan of the match manager taking the ball while it's still on the field and putting it on the spot for his teammate. There's Stevens, lofts one to the head of Millington. MK wanted that one to settle a bit better for him. Instead, Juma tries of shoot, but just behind him. Stevens really count as a nutmeg if the other player touches it? That's the question. Red card. No foul given, and Matty O tries to play in the Englishman. A sliding challenge from MK. Doing very well, leaving Ridgard on the deck, holding his ankle. It's a pretty clean challenge from me. A couple of players calling for him to get up. I'll be honest, did go sliding on this slightly pelletless turf here at KG5. It's not the greatest experience in the world. Definitely a clean challenge. And certainly the impact from the challenge rather than anything the turf's done. And Matty O showing genuine concern for all of his teammates whenever they've gone down injured. He's in the exact same position as for Gardner as the magic spray comes out. Did not see enough of that in Tasmanian football. I mean, if these injuries for both sides are anything to go by, we're looking at 4 minutes at a time, but we do know they don't like adding on the full complement to the referees for the first half. Ricard back to his feet. Don't have long till half time as we do tick into that stoppage time. Mees, awkward height for him and just about keeps possession. All back towards Mees. He's got two on his back and eventually switches it out towards the Linger. The breeze slightly helping him out there. Gerard wants to play in Dyer again. And he's just not terribly happy about that decision. Now wants to have a chat with the referee. We'll look at that on replay. Linger with the touch. Gerard stealing in. He certainly got the right leg first of Gerard before the ball. That might be what the referee is explaining in the first slice of cheese issued here this afternoon. Wait for the requisite paperwork to be done. We could be in 50-plus minute territory here for this first half. Yes. I'll tell you what, we need a second camera just on Tony Pert's facial expressions here the last 5 minutes. They have been brilliant. What on earth are you talking about on those expressions? And he's sitting out with a chance to pretty much put this game to bed, really, if they can do something from this free kick. Linger and Gerard both over it again. And that one harmlessly onto the roof. One bounce and a car away from my car. Hence my concern at looking for that one. How about United take this one from photographer's corner there in the wet area. Good to see Walter continuing to make the rounds. His third game of the afternoon at least. Here's Dyer. Moves forward to Gerard. Gets around Kadisha. Looks up, wants to hit Mees. Doesn't clear the first defender. It's Hawes at the back post. Good first touch to himself. Thorne wants that one to sit for him. It won't quite. Tries to get it towards Mees. Gets it back. There's the youngster. Now Gardner. Gets a second bite at it. Goes out to Hawes. There's Thorne short. Dyer if he wanted to make another one. All the way back to Linger. Good challenge there from Lagu. Wani gets the return ball. Can Hobart United do something on the break? Thorne, he'd do well to just take one for the team here, and he has done. He's certainly taken one for the team there, has Thorne. If he has any sort of fining system now, I think the whole team should pitch in for that one. As a former middling defender, that's exactly what should have been done there from the centre mid. Definitely Thorne with that yellow card. One last chance for Hobart United. All the tall timber up. Can Chuma find one of them? Going the short routine. Falls to Stevens at the top of the box. Now Lagu wanting to play the 1-2 with Wani. Falls to Stevens again. Back to Juma. Low ball eventually cleared by City, and that will be the end of this first half. The NPL side, Launceston City, holding a 2-0 lead over the championship side in Hobart United. Some thoughts of a potential cup set on the line with this one, but so far been relatively comfortable for the away side. 2 goals in the first 20 minutes here. Good first 10 minutes from Hobart United, and a couple of sloppy mistakes, and it's really let in. Lonnie City making the pounce, and then from there only really the one clear-cut chance falling Solomon Lagu. Except for that though, it's been played very much as Lonnie City would have liked it. Still in, not completely out of it are Hobart United. Could pull off quite the comeback, but it will be a pretty uphill challenge. As we will run through the goals for you again. It was Ridgard capitalising on that mistake. Playing in some ease, making his return to the lineup, thrashing that one home. Good work from one of the best young players in the state, and then the second, a lovely worked move out from the back, and really impress Hardwick. Mees thought he was going to shoot right there, but instead lays it off to Dyer into the back of the net. That made it 2-0, and then from there, not really troubled in any way. We'll be back with you in about 13 minutes to see if Hobart United can complete one hell of a comeback or whether Lonnie City can hold on.
Yeah, I told him don't turn up. I told him they're not the food. Key. And in a lot of those games, he costs him because he's not team oriented. He's team oriented. That's what he wants to do the whole lot himself. He got told him. So hopefully he might get the best. He's no loss. This is in the change room. He's about to sit on his own. I was fine with it. But when he wants it, he can play it. And then he makes it I said, okay, you know, I said when he wants something. Yeah, he's just selective.
By too many, you mean just about it.
Welcome back to the second half here at KG5 Lakoseljac Cup quarter-final action. For those of you just joining in on the goal, it's 2-0 to Launceston City, and I think Paul Hunt's probably best suited to talk us through how that first half went. Paul, what did you make of the action?
Are you sure? I'd be really interested in some like Southern Outlet Highway related chat. No, but to be honest, it was pretty even first 10 to 15 minutes, and then at Lonnie City scoring those 2 goals in quick succession. Hobart United not really producing much more in terms of clear-cut chances, maybe just the one after it, but then really played on Lonnie City's terms, and they'll really have to come out with all guns blazing here, Hobart United, if they complete this big turnaround. As particularly intrigued that MK still hasn't got his shin pads on yet. I hope he gets that before we get started. We do have a sub here for the start of the second half. I bet that's King Kenya coming on, and it is Francis King Kenya coming on. And looks like the tall figure of number 4 in goals come off, I'm going to suggest. Just waiting for Allegru to potentially turn around if that is him on the far side. And it is, so Gore coming off, and Francis King Kenya coming on as Sean Booger out. Gets the cross in, fully committed challenge there from the Hobart United player. Nash getting that free kick.
King Kenya just getting himself involved there early on, keen to make his presence felt. Handy player to have coming off the bench, so maybe a championship side, but not lacking for depth here. And City have had their struggles in the NPL this season, but the need to try and hold on here just to get some kind of positive momentum built into the season. They already knocked off Devonport en route to this quarter-final stage, so could it be the year of the cup perhaps for Launceston City? That's what they'll be looking to get something from, with the NPL not really going to their liking. And other results today, a 3-0 win for the Glenorchy Knights over Taroona. We had South Hobart 3-1 over University in the Women's Statewide Cup. Clarence Zebras 5-1 over Northern Rangers, and Laura Davis 5 were team 8. 0 over Riverside as King Kenya shoots one, blocked away by Millington. We're going there back again to the substitute. Kenya deflects, but didn't have any pace left on it. The keeper was wrong-footed, but he thankfully had time to recover. But 8-0 was the score to Kingred out the Den in the Women's Statewide Cup. And pretty entertaining afternoon of action around the state. Always a good day, good weekend, the quarterfinals. And just love a little second half fight back here, just to give us a real feature match to wind up the day's events, Paul. Yeah,
unfortunately everything's really gone the favourites' way so far. No cup sets occurring so far, and certainly not one in the offing here as it stands, but we'll see if Hobart United can do anything. It was a lovely day down at Kelvin Park. First time we've had the chance to see their new club rooms set up there. It's all very fantastic. Good crowd in as well. I had to park the furthest away I've ever had to park for Kelvin Park in my life, so that's always a good sign. just regretting the choice of shorts as darkness descends in Glenorchy a few hours later. As Lakoseljac looks to find Booger. Two number 10s going at it again as Linger comes out victorious on this occasion. Stevens in that more advanced centre mid role here. Still Lakoseljac going. Back to Booger. Linger again winning this one. At least they're showing a bit more zip in attack so far.
And just quickly run through the under-20 statewide results as well. 2-0 Glenorchy Knights over Kingborough Lions. Game of the day was up at Shark Park. 3-2 to the Somerset Sharks after extra time. 2-all there at the end of regulation. Somerset in the final four at the expense of South East United. And Riverside knocking off Devonport as this one's chipped over the top. The Sea Defence forced to scramble. Work back inside. Great chance here, but brilliant awareness shown by Jared Linger. Gets back and saves the day for City. Well, that was nearly 2-1. There's some life in this game yet.
Oh, that's what we wanted to see coming out of the second half. At least 2 half chances here. As I tell you what, Kenny's making a sneaky little bendy run here from this corner, but not quite alert. He's not happy about it. But the back stick as the corner eventually comes in. Well, it still might fall to him. Not quite, as Stevens puts it back to MK. Now, Juma doesn't have a great deal of teammate help, so he'll go himself across. Again, not quite coming off as the ball forward from Yassin Mohammadi as well, so another sub made by Lonnie City at half-time as Linger's firmly on his bike here. I think Mohammadi might have been the better option. Mees looks up, and that's a really average challenge there from Justin Lakoseljac. He was down on the ground before Mees had done anything and just allowed him to fall over Fabio Grosso style.
Yes, what he described it as accentuating the contact a little, maybe, I think were his exact words. But good to see Noel Mees back out there. Fair to say he's responded to his dropping to the Northern Championship, one that has left a few rather bemused, but a goal and an assist on his return would certainly be just what Roger Hardwick was wanting, a fair response from him. And a chance now from a set piece. We'll see if they can conjure something here and make it 3-0 and put some real breathing room between the sides. It's punched low straight into the wall there by Robert Gerard. And he's going to get a corner, little Robbie G. He's been a very good player in the NPL this season despite his team's struggles. And in attack, he's been fairly dynamic.
I think it's Ridgard that's come off for Lonnie City, so that knock at the end of the first half, clearly a bit more severe than we wanted it to be. As Mohammadi takes the corner. Gerard on the ball! He's not put that far away at all. Well, that would have been one of the goals of the season if that went in. He's hit that as crisp as you like. Has not even hit the ground. And I tell you what, he is not missed by much. He's a rocket. I think he saved that, actually, Booth. I think he's got a fingertip to that.
I'm not sure if he got it or the defender got a little piece of it. Either way, that's a phenomenal technique from the Englishman Gerard. And he presents short. He'll get on the end of this one too. Gerard! That one's blocked away and it fell to Mees, who skied his effort over the top on the non-preferred. And after a bright start to the half from Hobart United, City have responded here.
Yeah, 2 great chances, and I would have really wanted Mees to hit the back of the net there. Not the greatest ball work there behind the goal, eventually getting there. Do love the enthusiasm of Hobart United's match manager though. He's getting all about the park. Long run up and the heave-ho from the goal kick. It's nearly fallen awkwardly for Charlie Dyer. Just avoiding a particularly painful way to get the ball out of goal. That's come off Hobart United for a Lonnie City throw. And again, this similar pattern how the first half started. Full gung-ho attack from both sides the first 10 minutes, and then it kind of settled down afterwards. As Juma heads it only as far as Dyer. Stevens strong in the challenge. As that's not the greatest clearance there from Hobart United. And it was David on that occasion. Gerard Cleared by Stevens as far as Thorne. Pause. Moves all the way back to Gardner as Kinkenyi chasing that one down. And as that one hits the referee, so under the new rules, it will now be a drop ball. We're now just going to argue about whose possession it was in. So it will be Lonnie City's ball. Do miss the old just blatant kicking of the shins you used to get from an old drop ball. Not sure the physios enjoy it, but there's something pure about it.
Slightly less contentious than modern method, isn't it? But maybe less entertaining. There's some nice dribbling there, and a dangerous looking ball was well steered away before it could fall to Gerard as to bring out the counter here for Guga. Eventually numbers just winning out for Lonnie City. And another play on the ground here. A little bit of a stinger. And another stoppage, and they'll be in. You imagine they'll be looking to accentuate every little knock they get with a 2-0 lead. Just eat as many minutes as you can off the clock. Wins have eluded Launceston City this season. And a big opportunity to salvage something by moving into the final 4 of the Cup here today. Nice little one on the shin there.
To be fair, he has been studded right on that bony point of your ankle there. That does hurt.
Oh, absolutely.
Someone's turned up the $5 chips in front of us. That's absolutely not going to annoy us for the next 30-odd minutes.
No, it's already. There's a few in this grandstand who've gone the takeaway at half time, I think, just permeating around us.
And the Cove Road shop certainly doing great business here. Saw the referee for tomorrow's Olympia Uni game, Nathan Cove, digging into a Gyros in the grandstand just before. Very jealous of his work.
Yeah, of course, one of 2 Lakoseljac Cup games tomorrow. We'll have that one live streamed for you. Olympia University, and a famous League Cup game between the two several years back now up at Olinda Grove. Hopefully we can get anywhere near that kind of entertainment. We'll be very happy. The other game taking place earlier in the day at Darcy Street, South Hobart and Kingborough. North South won fairly handily the last time the two teams met. I do think that slightly narrower and grass surface, even though it is South Hobart's home ground, I think that suits the Lions a hell of a lot more than KG5 does.
Yeah, certainly. It's obviously that one being moved on the weekend of massive rain we had here at in Tasmania a few weeks ago, but it's a lot more similar to Lightwood Park, just minus the slope. As the corner comes in, over the head, falls to the back of Gerard, who had no idea about it. Bruno manages to clear that one. He wants to return quickly from Linger. Jinks inside. Linger eventually crossing it into the feet of Jummer and whacks clear. In the end, it's Kenny running at the attack with fresh legs. He's got Matteo for company. Can't get it to sit for him at the moment. Kenny gets past him again. Wants to cross it, and Matteo sticks to his task well. 1v1 the whole way from halfway. And eventually does enough to prevent the goal.
Yeah, great battle that. They fought out a draw in the end. Corner for Hobart United. Matteo stuck to his task well and seated a yard, but it just wouldn't quite sit for Kenny. He had to bring it back under his spell. Puts a nice move on him. And then O recovers to make that block. But he's added plenty since coming on here as King Kenny. As this one's steered to the back post. Floats over all comers. Not a particularly good delivery, that one. And doesn't really give his side a chance. Teddy Kadisha out after that, one of those players in this Hobart United team with a bit of NPL experience. As looks like we've got some action on the Launceston City bench. James Hall's resuming his place after that knock. He's right to continue. Seems to be moving about just fine, which is good to see. Throw down the line. Found Gerard. Silky skills here from Mohammadi. They send it on the outside to Noah Mees. Mees. That was a useful little move, but pretty well defended in the end. And in the end, seen out for a goal kick. Well done. Sticking it to his task there, Jimmer.
Yasser Mohammadi's been a bag of tricks so far in his first 11 minutes of this half. Started the season in the starting lineup for Lonnie City. He's been playing mainly off the bench the last couple of weeks. Trying to give his coach a reason not to leave him out again as Millington heads that one clear. Big fresh area there from Igor, who's certainly not come off. Oh, eventually now trying to get that sub correct. It's Wani that's come off, the big number 9 with the pink boots. That's who's come off for King Kenya as the free kick is taken quickly. Mees wants to hit it first time. Booth on the second attempt. Well, Noah Mees has scored some fantastic goals at KG5 down the years. That was nearly another one.
As soon as that went there, just sense Mees was winding up to blast that. He hit it with pure power. And Booth, one of those ones where it makes a save, but it's going to be spinning backwards, so you best get that recovered at the second attempt, or it's going to be 3-0. Did pretty well in the end there, Booth. As City again on the attack. That's a rather poor pass, though, from Gerard. Into the middle. Hobart United try and swing something on the counter-attack here. Paul Stevens, experienced campaigner with a wonderful raking ball, and just getting in first was Nash. He had to get there in ahead of Solomon Lagu. He tore out after it. Good alertness from the City custodian.
I mean, if you get a look at both those individuals, you would not expect Ash to get there first, but he had a nice little burst of pace there in the end. They're the experienced keeper, formerly in Sydney until this season.
Deceptively athletic, perhaps,
Yeah,
Nash.
I think so. He just got there in time. I could have seen that ending in catastrophe for Lonnie City there. I think that's Stevens coming up limping for Hobart United. Yeah, match manager's also now the physio as well for Hobart United. I can't be making a sub as Nako's been on as play continues. He's back on the field and just fires it into Dyer. May that fall to Mees. It does. He's got two for company. Does Noah Mees. Tries to go around the outside. And in the end, that is good defending from Kadisha. Can't quite find Juma. Mohammadi now. Dyer's in an acre of space, but just can't quite get it to him. Now Thorne. He makes something happen. Gerard gets it on his right peg. Switches back on the left. Now hits it. Does Gerard with pace. Booth right behind it. Comfortably palming that one to himself. As they're looking to return to 10 plays. He's been waved on Stevens. Hasn't quite realised it yet as he'll get an opportunity now. Mario committing the foul. And now Stevens gingerly walking back onto the field. And we will see a sub. Oh, is that why Justin Lico was there on the hovering by the sideline there before? Moses Kangogo coming up. 2 goes there. 2 goes at Kangogo. Del David taking the captain's armband. I'll be honest, I always thought he was the captain, to be honest. That's Canberra knocking it forward to Kenyi. Millington clears. Stevens looks up. Linger. Dyer will do well to judge the spin, surrounded by Hobart United players. Can't quite keep it in. Quick throw in from Kangogo. Falls to the top of the box. That's an ambitious effort from Kenny, not making the kind of contact he wanted. Stevens battling away with Gerard. Englishman comes up with it. Recovering defence there from Kangogo. Over the hour mark here, and Hobart United into trouble the score sheet in their attempts to come back from this 2-goal deficit. Linger towards Charlie Dyer, flicks it over the head of his opponent. Pause. Now Thorne Mohammadi in a good pocket of space. He has a 1v1 coming up with Juma, but can't quite get that one under control as Hall's back on the deck, holding that same ankle as before.
He seems to be struggling a little bit with it. That might be the end of his day.
I think they were to replace him, you'd drop. You've only really got, I guess Fleming can play that position. Rosetto with some moving about could as well. Maybe move Dyer inside or something like that, but plenty of options for Hardwick. Now Mohammadi. Out wide to Gerard. Can't quite pick out the pass. It's now Stevens. Back to MK. Trying to roll the defender. Here's Lagu, with not seen a great deal of so far in this second half. Linger. The second go at it, dispossessed. There's a player over here, and it's John Booger. Can he get past Matty O? And no, the second defender of Linger comes across. Dyer trying to turn past Kingogo. I think they've given that as out of play, but another half chance there for Hobart United, Andrew.
Yeah, King Kenny once again heavily involved. He has added plenty to this lineup. Not quite the end product they're after. Can Stevens splice open the defence here? Shifted across instead, and a drive is blocked away by Millington. Yassin Mohammadi will try and set City away on the counter. He carries and waits. Doesn't have a whole lot of options, so he just held it up and then put it into the corner for Mees to chase after, and in the end he won't be able to track that one down despite his best efforts. It'll be the goal kick. It's 26 minutes left in regulation. 2-0 the scoreline. United still searching for a way back into this game. There's goals in their team. We know that. It's a dangerous ball in there, and again Jared Linger just whacking it away. It's been pretty impressive this season, Jared Linger, and good so far in this one. Hall's trying it there, but he's worked off it. Turn back here through Gore. Nicely defended though. City. They're going to be tough to break down. There's no real reason for them to be pushing numbers forward. Looks like they might be pushing a substitute on here. I think I can see the big frame of Rosetto set to be introduced. So maybe a bit of long throw action set to just add to the theatre here. Steered forward, surely offside. The flag well and truly out. Nash with a nice piece of keeping regardless. Didn't matter, but you've got to give him credit all the same.
Absolutely. He'll let that one do his highlights film for the end of the season with the keep up, but firmly a good yard or two offside, as we will see that sub being made. It's Alex Rosetto coming on. Will it be Hawes, who's been a bit ginger lately? No, it's going to be Nick Thorne coming off. Bright yellow boots of the Omni City youngster. And now, the tall frame of Rosetto, and between Gerard, Mees and Rosetto, that's a pretty tall attacking trio there for City.
Yeah, there's some height up there, isn't there? Land of the Giants, an attack for Launceston City. You expect Nash to just smash this one along as a result. Some real aerial prowess, and Mees gets to work. Flicked it on, it was blocked away. But yeah, Rosetto, with his long throw ability too, will be able to supply. That's a rather... I thought it was a fairly reckless bit of work there from Dyer, and would have conceded the foul. Play allowed to continue as Jared Linger wins it back. He's got two to contend with here, and in the end just got a little bit too casual at the end and just to score it out of play.
I don't think Lonnie City's playing styles are going to be particularly great for the purists who like some tiki-taka this last 25 minutes. I think I'm going to see it get up pretty directly as Hobart United tried to do the same. Booger again with Owen Linger for company. He's got the wrong side of him, John Booger. Nash forced to make the save. I think he's left the toe in there on the keeper and got a slice of cheddar for his trouble. Determined run into the box from the Hobart United striker. Just that heavy touch letting in the keeper and a bit of a reckless stretch there in the end.
Yeah, just a little carried away. But they're getting it behind all right. They're just not quite able to find that final pass or shot once they've got him behind of the fullbacks. You've seen the pace causing some issues. Definitely not Jared Linger with the booking there to confirm. That was certainly on Hobart United. There's John Booger into the book there. As they take back possession in midfield. They find a way to break down this Launceston City outfit. Well cut out once again by Matthew O. defending well, and Noah Mees just showing too much of it though. United again attacking with a bit of verve, but once more breaks down. Launceston City through Gerard and Mees, and then over the top for the run of Yassin Mohammadi. He's got three in the middle here, Mohammadi. Can he pick a pass? He squares it right into the middle, and it's a fairly tame effort. Big Rossetto had time and space, and that was what he produced.
No, it's the most likely option there of Lonnie City's players striding forward. Rossetto had the most space, and he did find him, Mohammadi, but not the greatest finish. He's been really impressive since coming on this second half, as Yassin Mohammadi. It looks like Hobart United preparing another sub as well, as they really throw caution to the wind. They haven't had much of a midfield this last 5 minutes. It's now Rossetto stays on side. Can he find Mees? Can't beat the first defender. There's now Paul Stevens. Wouldn't have minded an option short. Eventually Booger forced to come short. And now City again. As you can see, there's not much of a midfield here from Hobart United, looking to find Rossetto. Keeper electing not to come out for that one as David goes the run right around the outside, keeping possession. Juma beaten out to it by Mohammadi. Cheaply turned over. Safety first from Hobart United. Putting it in the creek and allowing a bit of time wasting for Lonnie City ain't going to do much to help their cause at the moment.
Yeah, tick past halfway in the second half. And the visitors looking ahead back up the highway in the spot in the final four. Of course, those semi-finals will take place after the NPL Tasmania season. A pretty little bowl on the end of the season. Kind of quasi-finals type setup, if you will, without kind of ruining a league competition by stamping finals on them.
We used to have a completely separate cup tournament at the end of a league season in Tasmania very, very back in the day. So I'm all about that. Don't mind it.
There's a change being made here. It looks like Abel Varane is going to come on. See what he can add into the mix.
Good to see the Andrew Cooling Trophy not being played for this year, with the final series no longer a new series. It hasn't been for the last few years.
Well, it'll be interesting to see with Meanlot around next year whether it rears its ugly head once more. There's every chance it does. But hopefully that can be my legacy, the destruction of that god-awful tournament, as this one's taken over.
Viva la Victory Cup! No, look, unfortunately, I'm in agreement with you. It was a bit hodgepodge and
tacked on.
Yeah, New South Wales as well still has it to decide what their NPL winner is. And from memory, last year, Wollongong way in front in the league and then lost to Apia, so they don't really get the crowning glory.
Yeah, well, look, that's still preferable. That's finals, rather than just randomly tacking this random thing on the end of the season. Finals, at least there's some sense to it. I mean, it's not as good as the league campaign. I'm glad we stick with the league title down here as the true champions. It just confuses people.
Yeah.
Your league champions and your premiers,
it feels like a reverse Summer Cup almost as well. And in your mind, probably has even less standing than the Summer Cup as well.
Yes.
Unless they have one of those weird Summer Cup tournaments where you end up playing 60 minutes or whatever we had that one year.
Who knows? No, Mees. Trying to finish this one off. Rossetto, it's a good ball. There's a chance here. He's cut it back, and it's a great piece of shot blocking again. The body's in the way pretty well. This Hobart United defence in the second half. It's pretty good shot blocks. Millington heads that one forward. Gerard, elegant player to watch despite his kind of size and power about him. There's a bit of silk to go with the strength.
Hasn't been, I wouldn't say they've played out from the back terribly well, but Millington and O have been very good centre-back pairing here this evening. Very solid, not letting a whole lot through, and then when they hasten the through balls that Hobart United love to play come into effect, they do close down pretty well. Juma's saying the ball's flat, referee saying hurry up and get on with it. Match manager for Hobart United now on that far sideline. I'd love to see a GPS tracker or a hot heat map of his work this afternoon. It is bobbed up everywhere.
He has covered some serious territory. An impressive effort from the match manager. A hell of a lot better than the match manager they had up at Windsor Park. Do that much.
Ho again sticks to his task well. And now fall to Gerard. And he's very easy to spot with that kind of languid style. I find it quite Berbatov-esque in the way he just kind of glides around the park. Covers plenty of ground, a bit more than you think. Very easy on the eye style.
Jeez, imagine getting him down here to the NPL house.
Oh.
Didn't start with Berbatov. Just make it happen.
Now that we need a new transfer rumour to get excited about. Now Messi's apparently staying at Barca, according to reports this morning.
Yeah, it was fairly predictable. I mean, generally, when you got a clause in your contract that says you can leave in June, you try and activate it in August, September. Generally not going to end overly well for you, Leo.
The Gregorian calendar is in pretty much effect in most countries around the world. It's a bit hard to get that changed as Gerard now going down a little too easily, much like a particular Gerard has done before in big games.
Just smile to my face. Conspiracy theory. Sky Sports orchestrated this whole thing. Messi never had any intention of leaving anywhere. They said, we'll give you $5 million and you'll generate about $30 million in ad revenue from all the clicks you'll give us, as this one chipped over the top. I mean, it is a business in itself, just making up transfer rumours these days.
Absolutely.
And nothing drove news headlines like Messi declaring he wanted to leave.
I would have thought someone threw $5 million at James to say he was going to go to Everton, but apparently that's happened.
No, look, we're just a big club, mate, signing big players.
Look, it's known for one thing, and that's robbing Tim Cahill of the best goal at World Cup 2014, and that's frankly his claim to fame.
He's very good, that tournament, James.
He deservedly made the team of the tournament. Didn't score the best goal though.
I love Tim Cahill, but I'm not sure I can agree with that, Paul. As Launceston City throw it into the box. The long roost of Rosetto, a weapon they've added on here. So we tick into the final 15. Can Hobart United find a goal to get themselves back in this one, or will it be City heading home happy? They're running out of time. I'm running out of space in the grandstand as this one, well, there's some tidy footwork and then sent down the line. It's a dangerous looking ball out after that's Ngor. And again, pretty well defended by Matty O, who's been rock solid. From what I've seen here, Matty O. Here's King Kenyi. Can he make something happen? Squares it up. Millington, one of the more reliable centre-backs going around in the state, has been for a few years. Cleared that one away. Well, down again by Ngor. Kenyi trying to charge on through and whacked away from there.
Yeah, someone just turned up in the grandstand with 3 box of Kafers, and geez, you haven't seen movement like that in a while. There is a lot of the Colonel's finest going around up here as Hobart United trying to get back into this one. Bahane, I think that is. Stevens at the top of the box. Can they set it up for a teammate? Bahane coming across. Now Juma trying to get ahead of Stevens. That's a solid challenge. There from Adio striding forward. Now David. This plays past there from the right back. No foul. Rosetto looking for it. MK just kindly explaining how that wasn't a foul.
Very generous of him to provide the explanation.
Doing the referee's job for him.
Stevens doing well. And just running out of room on the near touchline there. A little too tight corridor for Kenyi. City's defence holding out. Gerard presenting short. Dyer inside to Gerard, who is fully committed, and he does really well to just cannon that off the United defender and win the throw-in. Looked a Hobart United ball, but some good intent there from the Englishman.
Nearly taken out Hobart United's cameraman's camera as well there on the sideline. He's now moved a good 5 yards back since that clearance from Gerard. Now Rosetto playing that target man role. Chip ball by Dyer. Oh, it's fallen to Mees, who's offside. Somebody Pert there on the line. Quick on that decision.
Yeah, you'd want to be getting that right situated directly in front of Launceston City's bench there. That certainly let him know all about it if they disagreed. He's It was the right call though, as Stevens switches this one across. And the offside flag again.
Interesting, the Hobart United crowd not quite enjoying that call as much as the one just before.
No. not that we're suggesting it's a partisan bunch here at KG5. A good crowd in attendance too for Lakoseljac Cup quarter-final action.
I've seen at least 2 Launceston City fans make the trip, so unfortunately they are still probably 12 times outnumbered.
Yeah, pretty much a home side with the vast majority of the spectators here. That's fair to say. And they'll be hoping for some late drama from their team here. And can they make something happen? Kenny again showing great pace. And Matthew O has been outstanding. Makes another vital touch there. And I wonder if there's a bit of team selection going into putting O in there. He and Linger at the back just having some real pace to stick with a very, very brisk front line of United, because they're tracking those runs really well.
Yeah, he was bodying up as well to John Warney in that first half, who was a good 6 inches taller than him as well. So he's played every different type of attacker very well that he's had to play on. Yes. You can see half the scoreboard in use here this evening, not bothering with the clock. Maybe that's the reason why everyone's decided to sit next to us, just the use of the clock. There's Hawes and MK battling with that one. MK gives the shout, can't quite get it through to Kenyi. Dyer. Next up to Kingogo. Dyer and MK just still entangled in a very close stance as Stevens strides forward. Has a player available on the far side and goes in that direction to John Booger, who frankly shanks that shot. Falls to Juma. Not sure if that was a shot or a cross, as he leaves a bit of body in the end, and as United ended up with the ball, they'll bring the ball back for a free kick.
Mohammadi winning that one there.
As soon as I made that shot clock gag, someone stood up to try and look at the clock as well from the crowd next to us. So they're only not much luck. That was to pass on to him. It's 79 minutes and a half.
Yeah, they need goals quickly is basically the summation of the situation. It's been a very disciplined defensive display here in the second half from City. They've been under pressure, but they've handled it really well. You've got to be impressed with the way they've handled what's held out. Can they land the knockout blow here, perhaps? Hustling there. Oh, skillful stuff from Yassin Mohammed. He beats 2, squares it up to Dyer at the back post. It would have been a spectacular goal, but he volleyed it wide. The fleet feet of Yassin Mohammed forging the chance. And it would have been a pretty spectacular finish, but it wasn't too far away from a second of the day for Dyer. Again, great pace from King Kenyi. And again, shut down was that Owen Linger combination, just snuffing everything out right now. And again, good reading of the play from O, although kept on keeping on pretty nicely. And a set-piece opportunity for United here. Barane winning it. Can they get the tall timber forward and try and make something happen? Spark a late fight.
Matteo is getting a bit close here to an accumulation slice of cheese here, particularly in this second half, but he's still been, for mine, one of the best players on the park as Stevens hovers over this free kick. Goes towards the back post. Nash gives a shout and punches well. Mohammed tries to keep it in, but good, confident keeping there from the man from New South Wales. Juma. The long throw towards Ngor. Stevens here would be a good option. Well cut out there from Gerard though. Mees. Oh, it's hit him in the back of the feet there, that pass from Rossetto. He's forced to work back. There's City trying to get their foot on the ball. It's a wasteful pass. There is Hobart United now attack the grandstand side. It's Kingogo looking to bomb on, gets past one. Bahane. Stevens. Okay. Tried to get the ball forward first time. Kadisha. That's the most passing around the back they've done all game, and it's in the 80th minute when they're chasing 2 goals here, Hobart United. As Kingogo read that one well, but nearly left it behind. Stevens. Now King Kenyi. Stevens now, the long ball. Out towards Booger. Great first touch. Lays it back to Juma. Gets the return ball. And Gardner, who's maybe haven't had to call a great deal in this second half, comes and tackles that one well. But again, Hobart United not really finding their way through the City defence, and they certainly won't with headers like that.
Yeah, just a little more guile needed if they're going to break them down. Time quickly becoming an enemy here for Hobart United. 2 goals in the space of a few minutes in the first half. As this one well within City's keeping. It's going to take something late on as Joel David nods it forward. Some good strength shown there from Paul Stevens. Has really asserted himself in the second half. Kenny will challenge, but again, Nash, very reliable. Has been very good once again.
Tell you what,
frustrating the home fans, I think you can say.
Kenny left his elbow out about that much more. That could have been a second yellow as well. That's why I was slightly holding my breath. Captain David. Oh, God, eventually getting around Noah Mizu. He thought he had the touchline as his friend there. And eventually still getting past and still going.
Go the whole distance, son.
That's surely... That's to be a foul. Gerard giving it to his countryman there on the assistant referee's side. Baying for a card and somehow not getting one.
Well, the home crowd has certainly spoken on what they feel should have been done there. Not sure if they're just trying to wind Gerard up and they're doing something really stupid, or if they genuinely thought it was a card. Either way, very animated up here in the stands. But play continues, and Noel Mees will turn and charge after this one, but he didn't lead back in the race. Timmy Kadisha was there. But maybe it's just time. Joel David has played as a striker before. He's a centre-back in this team, has played there the vast majority of the last few years, but maybe time, just looking at his last couple of minutes, get him up top, swing him up there, see if they can make something happen. So he just walks past a couple, and he's got goals in him.
Just wondering, Northern City, Noel Mees has looked absolutely gassed the last 5 minutes. Not saying he's still not running around and chasing up top, but it's not with that same zip as before, and a few hands on hips at the moment as Linger has some space down this right-hand side. Shapes to cross. Oh, space at the back post. Header nearly on target. Will fall back towards Rosetto, but eventually now cleared from Hobart United. Maybe that's why they keep Mees on, as players charging at him, but composed defence.
Yeah, he'll still be able to hold the ball up all right, but not running with quite as much zip. Certainly not as much as Jared Linger showed. He just took off from right back to present that option moments ago. The skillful Mohammadi trying to wiggle past a couple. He got past one. He couldn't get past 2 though. Pretty well defended in the end from Juma. The experienced campaigner launches that one long, but straight to the Englishman Gerard, who skillfully skips into space. He might think about the roost from Ranger Gerard. He'll just take it wide instead. And in the end, it'll be a Hobart United throw. It doesn't really amount to much. But they're eating up more and more seconds. It's looking increasingly likely that Launceston City are going to be advancing to the semi-finals of the Lakoseljac Cup. Join Glenorchy Knights in there if they can hold this one. Either Kingborough, South Hobart, and Olympia University. 2 of those sides will join them tomorrow. It's looking like there's going to at least be one northern team left in the competition. Unless Hobart United can conjure a piece of late magic and Gore on the flick that didn't really come off for him. And they're starting to look a little out of ideas.
Yeah, just getting a little bit frustrated on the United side. They really are going to have to find something soon. There won't be a great deal of stoppage time. We've only really had the substitutions here in this second half, unlike the first where we had a couple of injury breaks. For Lottie City players copping knocks as Juma shows a nice bit of skill and uses his pace to get around Rosetto. Juma still full of running down the line. Here's Juma, only really has 2 in the box, still going and eventually just firing that into his teammate. Now he's got to track all the way back. There's Mees. As you mentioned, Andrew, holding the ball up well, keeping possession and wanting Linger to get on his bike, and he does in a foot race with Kangogo. Linger winning that one easily as Dyer just inside. Linger still going. Gets it towards the top block. Noah Mees puts it over the top. That really would have sealed the game there for Meesy. Unfortunately, still stays at 2-0.
Lining up in the middle there. It was a really nice move. Started by Mees. Showing what he can do there. Holding it up, bringing Linger into the play. He's still full of running. Has not stopped sprinting, Jared Linger. Model of fitness the way he's running this game out. Still creating plenty from down the right. Here's the fullback. This is some strong play from Gerard and a sliding challenge. So we'll see a corner. And fair to say, I don't know about United in furious disagreement with that one, but Thomas Mace insistent that it'll be a corner kick, and there'll be absolutely no rush whatsoever to take this one. Might just take it short. Gerard shielded. There's no United player in the vicinity, so they can just slow play it if they want. That's exactly what Gerard's going to do. Come get it off me, says the Englishman. He just perches in front of the ball. Says, try and shift me. They do a pretty good job of it, but it's still in dispute, and Gerard is just eating the seconds up here. Well, a pretty good result in the end. Ate a good 30 seconds off the clock and then recovers the ball once more. Rob Gerard, the Englishman, some real experience professionally running this one down. And a substitution in the offing for City here. I think young Fleming might be set to come on here.
Every trick in the book being used by Lonnie City here. And the sub, well, this is where it used to be really effective, but now they can unfortunately just walk off on that far side as well if it's one of those players. As now Mees has a go at playing keep ball in the corner. Rosetto there as well as backup should it fall to him. Hobart United just about do enough to get it out of there. And now I reckon the sub's going to be made at this out. Now it's in the middle of the park.
So, to the final minute of regulation. Launceston City set to advance here.
Gardner coming off, and unfortunately as the left back he can now go off on that side, so can't make the slow meandering jog on.
Does the ref still automatically add 30 seconds? If so, there's a negative expected value substitution. They might have swung around with these rule changes. We need to find out if the referee still is automatically tax on another 30 or not.
That's the first time expected value's ever been dropped in the slice of cheese commentary.
I've worked in there a couple of times. Definitely the first time in relation to seconds eaten up by substitutes, but look, those are the things we need to really micro-analyse, Paul.
Absolutely. I look forward to your the athletic think piece on it during the week for Slice of Cheese.
It's looking like City have done enough here. They haven't really threatened in the last few minutes, and they're just run out of petrol tickets, I think. Rosetto will just shield this one out. And they've really professionally seen this game out, the NPL side. It's been very nicely done. And they'll be glad to get that winning feeling back, and they'll hope that they can use it as a bit of a launch pad for the second half of their NPL season, just to recover probably best be described as a stuttering campaign so far. They've shown plenty within matches, but on the whole, they've just not quite done enough. They've been competitive, they've been close, but there's only so many honourable losses you can have before the frustration starts to set in. I think they'll be wanting to get a few more wins in the second half of the season, but fair to say the cup is about to become their main focus, as this one's just over the head of Fleming. Juma away from Mohammadi. This one looks dead and buried, and Launceston City will be advancing.
This compliment I can give Lonnie City this year is they're probably the worst team in NPL Tas history. We unfortunately have a bit of a history here of some teams lagging very well behind. Lonnie City in the early days of NPL, Knights there for a while, Clarence United last year. But whilst it doesn't look that way in points, I mean, they're 3-0 here last week against Knights is probably their worst game of the season, and losing at home to a side chasing the title isn't the worst thing in the world. So, yeah, stuttering's probably a good example as we're getting a bit of a tangle there in the middle of the park. Still going. Here's Mohammadi, and they're still going. They don't quite know what position they're both taking up there on that far sideline. Millington now comfortably clears.
I mean, they're one draw and 6 losses, yet the goal difference is only -9, so it kind of tells the story of how close they are. There's too much talent out there for them to stay winless throughout the season. No doubt they'll pick up a win or two. They bumped Devonport out of this very competition. They're a good side. They might be sitting on the bottom, but there's plenty of talent out there. Rigard, Gerard, Mees, Linger, Millington. There's some real top-tier players in this lineup, so They're going to be a tough semi-final matchup for whoever they play, and especially if they're able to play it up at Buckby Park. If Buckby Park's even available that time of year, I don't even know.
I wouldn't have a clue either, to be honest.
In November, it's been a while since the November fixtures have been pulled out. Such is this mad 2020 environment we're all living in.
Is it touch they play up there in summer?
I think so.
Yeah. They'll delve that from some part of my brain that I've read that before.
We'll have to see. I'll definitely be keen to, because that's a fairly blatant handball against Rossetto that, well, to be fair, I don't think the referee actually blowed. I think he just allowed it to go first. So, no, obviously it's a free.
He was waiting for advantage, I think, is what the referee will claim.
Yeah, probably correctly done. Just a bit of confusion, really. United trying to find a late one. Paul Stevens.
It doesn't matter if the other defender there whacks it away.
Yeah, look, aesthetically pleasing, but not going to achieve a whole lot. Keeper's a mile off his line here. If Mees can skip into space, he was surrounded by three. He was getting ready to pop one from 60 yards there, Mees. Switching ball was a good one to Jim up. And the foul is blown. And with 93 and a half gone, that might just about be that.
I think that answers your question about does that sub still count as 30 seconds. I think yes. They haven't really had any other stoppage besides the three subs. Maybe a bit of Copra influence coming into this game.
Yeah, maybe he's been mentoring young Macy Copra in the ways of random additional time. I'm all for it, especially in the cup. Extra drama.
Oh, it'd just be great if it was 2-1 and we could have Copra time.
Yeah, just extra bang for the viewers' buck. But it's going to be a victory for City here. They're not going to lose this one now. Long ball flicked on. They might add a third though. Yassin Mohammadi will look up. He's got Fleming making a tearing run. The fence scrambles across in coverage. And they'll switch it out. And can they find a counter-attacking goal here? For Booger. They can't, because Matteo was there as he was throughout the entire second half. An imperious display at the back from Lonnie City there. They defended stoutly. They take the victory and advance to the final four.
Got ahead nice and early, Lonnie City, and then a real professional display in that second half. Didn't give Hobart United too many chances. Really, really productive performance. Goals from their returning star striker, Noel Mees and Charlie Dyer doing the damage. And probably a deserved victory in the end for the NPL side. We had hopes of a cup set, but the team from the State League coming in strong in a daylight. KG5, it was Mees from near enough to the penalty spot, firing home. It was about the 15th minute, and then not long after, it was Mees turning provider. Real well-rounded striker. Here's Meesy, foot on it, spot Dyer an acre of space, and finishes with aplomb. After that, Lonnie City not creating too many gilt-edged chances, really. To be fair, neither did Lonnie City. Neither did Hobart United. Pretty even contest after that. And it's Lonnie City through to the final four. Will they get a coveted home tie up at Buckby Land Rover Park? A bit more of a fortress for them in the wide expanses of KG5. And unless University can pull off something amazing tomorrow, no more non-NPL sides left in the cup. And I think that'll be the game of the round, game on tomorrow worth tuning into, I think.
Yeah, 4:30 tomorrow. Do join us for that one. We'll have the live blog of Olympia Beachside in the Women's Statewide Cup and Kingborough v South Hobart in the Lakoseljac Cup before that, and then the live stream from 4:30 from Warrior Park. Olympia taking on University for one of those semi-final spots. Already advancing Launceston City and Glenorchy Knights. Thanks for tuning in here to the broadcast from KG5 as Lonnie City kept Northern hopes alive in the Laka Cup for 2020. Bye for now.